V12.
This push drag for Slake is ridiculous. Push drag 8,000 pounds. Yeah, you can move a whole lot of them.
This... I don't have better news. Sonny hands the notes over to Cog. Like, here you go. Here's a list of their names and things that said that they loved you. It's like guy's name, he loved you. Guy's name, he loved you. Guy's name, he loved you. And then guy's name, he loved, he loved agony. Guy's name, I like flowers.
Nice.
There you go. And unfortunately, we don't have Tella, and Tella was the only one who would have known more, but we don't have her gem. Because they all died before the people showed up. And we can't speak to them anyway. That's unfortunate.
Some things perhaps will not be solved currently in your current position.
Oh, but will we find it? I feel sorry for any random, like, I'm a fighter! Got an adamantine greatsword. I put all my money into getting an adamantine greatsword.
Yep.
Nope.
There might be some questions.
Hey, you! Where'd you get that sword? Well.
All right, I'm going to move the group to the stairwell. The next scene is probably 5 or 10 days later, and Sonny, you feel that it is time. Are you gonna wait for everyone, or are you gonna do this on your own, or what's the?
So Sonny would like Dee Dee to be there at a minimum.
Yep.
Because Dee Dee needs like a pick me up. Everyone else, they could be there or not of their own volition. Like it's not a secretive thing, but so it's
okay.
Whether or not they show up.
Stairwell. Okay. This is basically while a lot of the good selling is going on. Slake is busy selling goods. It looks like Agony is also busy doing mercantile things. Capra is busy selling goods. Didi is actually home crafting. By this point, you've cleared out a lot of the Vecchia, and she's back at the crafting table. You basically have put Didi to work for the majority of the season to craft
There's
items.
no time to cry if you're working all the time.
Right.
Why is everything salty?
Dugan Schmurf is leading the selling of goods. Amadeus is actually more greedy now that he's turned into Grumpadeus and is interested in selling goods at this time. Desaad is also selling goods as his multiple forms are ready and available, and then Cog also needs to sell goods so that he can make upgrades planned for himself. So I don't know if it's just Sunny and Didi. Is anyone like does Sunny broadcast to everyone like what's going to go on, or
if there's time, the guys will come and hang out. Desaad and Cog will they'll attend.
Okay.
He's not hiding it, but he's not like putting up flyers and shit.
Okay. There was a morning where Sunny had put out a big bell and has been slowly gathering this series, like this unattached wreath of naturey objects like pine cones and shrubs and spices and incense and mushrooms and things from nature, basically. you doing?
Uh,
We'll say Cog is there mixing something at his bench when Dee Dee asks what Sunny's doing.
I miss Mistra.
Yeah, she was a good cow.
And she misses me. So it is time to pray to the weave to bring back my muse.
Wait, what?
I'm going to bring back Mistra.
You get this like flurry of wings, and then you're being half tackled by a fey hug. She hugs you so hard she turns visible.
It was an attack roll. She seemed to you.
You can bring her back. What's she gonna be? She's gonna be a cow. She's gonna be a horse. She's gonna be a monkey. What's she gonna be?
She's going to be Mistra.
Oh, same thing.
We will let the weave and that of nature guide her fate.
You're gonna leave it to the whims of fate. Yeah, go chaos.
She could be a big lizard. She could be a cow. She could be a dog. Or
You know, I'm gonna love Mister no matter what she is. If she comes back as an ugly snake or a toad, she's still gonna be Mister.
she will be Mistra. She could come back as a skunk.
I can see advantages of some monster or some animals over others, but it's still gonna be Mistra. We'll fit her bell on her somehow.
Yes. So he takes the bloody patch of hair
Yep.
that he's been keeping with him, and he ties it to the bell.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to hold hands?
Yeah. Well, as long as it's good for the spell, I don't know.
Let's find out.
Should the others be
It'll
here?
take a few minutes.
Should the others be here?
The others.
Did I hear right? You're bringing back Mistra?
Yes.
Excellent news. I miss her moo.
Yeah.
You might.
But I don't miss her poo.
What?
Well, I cannot guarantee there will be moo. I can guarantee there will be poo. So he has this. I wonder what happens if she's a carnivore.
No, she won't. She's gonna be something nice. Like a big buddy.
With nasty big pointy teeth. Sunny starts chanting with Dee Dee a very, like, the hippy dippiest version of the spell.
Dee Dee calls out to the 1001 Fey gods and gets the god of cheap shots kicking opponents while they're down and goes, nah, sticks that away. You go away.
The god of cheap shots. That's awesome.
Hey, was that over there? Oh!
We have it's Fey gods or Fey god if you want the command for that.
It's
That's funny.
Fey gods. That works. We could do rider antlers, sure.
Anyways, you can have fun with that.
Yep. That's a cool little command.
Yep.
Thanks
to the stream for helping me put that together. There's while it says 1001 Fey gods, there are over 400 that we've made in the list and deduped, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's good. Some of the Fey gods
it's one of those what. I'm fairly certain that if you ask all the Fey about all the 1,001 Fey gods, that it's probably more like 10,000 because you're gonna like think, oh, it's the same guy. It's kick him with their down or kick him in the shins. It's the same thing. Surprise.
Yep, but it is now a command that we can use and actually. And she's like, "No, you go away. No, I'm not here. Sonny, you do the magic." She's like folded her arms over herself, and she's tried not to screw things up.
Sonny casts his spell. It takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
And there's and the bit of Mistra has been gentle reposed, so the timing, it's not dead for too long.
All right. Something strange happens at the center of the wreath. The bell melts and disappears into an amalgam of flesh that begins to kind of grow and undulate. It hardens over like it's some sort of egg, and then grows flesh, and then some tendrils or feet, and then a head kind of comes out, and then it grows back into like this fleshy thing, and the fleshy thing is starting to get bigger as you're basically spinning the wheel of what animal will I get from the natural kingdom?
No. Okay. That was almost.
I think that looked like the sword for a second.
I don't know. Is this good? It's getting pretty big.
You guys all step away from the small table that you put this on. The actual weight of the mass that is becoming the new Mistra actually breaks the table and spills a bunch of the acorns and things all over the place. The mass is getting bigger. You guys are stepping back from it. It eventually hardens like an egg. It's like this gigantic horse-shaped egg. And then it stops. The egg's just sort of wobbling a little bit.
That's a big egg.
Reptile? Birds?
Could be a reptile, could be a bird.
Dinosaur?
The egg kind of shakes a little bit.
Hello in there.
It begins to shake.
Cock takes a defensive stance.
Yeah, Dee Dee has turned invisible. You can hear her fluttering around in the air. You when you say hello in there, something like shifts in the egg, and it's like you can hear this pecking on the other side.
Mistra.
This yellow head with a yellow beak, very large and icky, cracks forth from this gigantic egg. Mistra now is emerging forth quite menacingly. At first you thought it might be some sort of dinosaur. You didn't think chickens grew that big. As
Big bird!
As Mistra...
Well, hello there, guys!
As Mistra emerges from her shell, wet and happy to see you, making cooing noises.
Oh.
There's a squee from Dee Dee as she goes, like, plowing into Mistra's side, again turning visible with her bear tackle of a hug.
Mistra? It's good to see you.
She makes this little chirp noise.
Welcome back.
Apologies on the whole run over by a tank thing.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Shakes a little bit, and she's getting out of the...
We destroyed the tank, though. We destroyed it.
She cocks her head off the side, clacks happily, and is now nuzzling Sunny.
Oh, yes. Oh, who's this? Who's a slimy girl?
She's got a strength of 26.
Yeah, Cogs are
in her
whacking
current
away
form.
from this. Right, so we're done here.
Strength of 26 in her current form.
Oh. She's, I believe the term is a heckin' chonker of a...
You notice that the bell has reformed as a weird, like a breaststone. Like it melted and turned into like this diamond that is sort of embedded in her breastbone.
Cool.
Is he so cute?
She's very cute. Sonny's gonna put the bedazzled horseshoes sort of like just out to the side, like, oh, this, and those are gonna go on.
Don't worry, mister. We'll make you some more. We'll make you bird feet that make you go fast. Don't worry, I'll put that at the top of the list. Now that you're back.
Is who's a good mistress?
Yeah, she's big. Sonny, you're like some sort of land bird. You're thinking like
knowledge nature.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what you are. Also, if I ever get asked the question again, it is egg before chicken. Knowledge nature. Oh, 20 in a big old chicken. It's a super chicken.
it's like some variant of a giant ostrich or a more mild version of an axebeak. It's something along the flightless bird line. She's definitely still has the advanced template with the artifact that she's been reincarnated with.
She's. He sort of stands there and poses academically. She's a large, flightless bird.
Her beak's pretty sharp.
It's not quite ostrich, and it's not quite axebeak.
She stretches a little bit and hops out of the egg, splashing some of the egg everywhere. She's got an acrobatics jump of plus 28. It was an effortless leap that jumped right over Dee.
28. What kind of bird is it? Nature.
These should all be like. It's like a variant of an axebeak.
It's a type of axebeak.
Which effectively is the Pleistocene version of a giant ostrich. You know, like it's very similar.
It's a yeah. So good to have you back, Vistra.
She runs around the the furnace area. She's got a base movement of 50.
Very quick.
Oh, she's quick. She's big. Oh, what's she gonna eat?
Wizard. I don't know, maybe.
That's not funny.
Ostriches are. I think ostriches eat grain, and axebeaks eat.
Cog, with your high roll, you're guessing that she'll be omnivorous. She'll eat basically anything.
Anything that we eat, she'll eat.
Shit, because of the big bite.
She'll eat anything.
Oh, well, I
Isn't
guess
that
it's not all carnivore, metasaur, or whatever.
Well, Mr. Would you want to try some of the meaty thing?
Okay, she comes up to you and responds to her name.
This is beef.
No.
She jabbers away in like a birdish tongue.
We're gonna prestidigitate all the goo off. And
Yep. It's like taking a happy bath. That she does not mind. She seems sprightly and happy to be alive.
Happy to be alive. Hey.
We're
It's
going to
big
say
birdie.
that multi-attack reduces the penalty for multi-attack from -5 to -3.
Yep.
So she could take
2
3
attacks.
bites
Yeah.
around, each one at a -3 instead of a -5.
Yeah.
And with her feats, her D8 bite becomes 2d6, so she's basically biting like great swords.
She's got a big old chompy bite. 2d6 plus 14. And spring attack is still effective
Yep.
Nice.
in terms of like her. She didn't turn into something like you are now a giant toad with a 10-foot move speed.
There's this strangely joyous scene as you're putting hand-me-down magic items onto Mystra, and Dee Dee's taking measurements of Mystra's feet so that she can recraft a set of bedazzled bird shoes. Sonny's thinking he could actually put a saddle on her and ride her around.
It would. It's led to think that or a harness, so. I actually put a rake and ride this level.
Did you? Nice.
Because this shit's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that was us rolling offline. I made a short list, and then we did a roll offline, and we came up with Big Bird and rebuilt a Mystra.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna. Mr. is awesome, and now we're gonna. I guess I will add have to go buy a saddle to the list of stuff I need to do with my character during like the purchasing events.
Yep. All right. For Slake, after finishing selling goods, he reinforces some of his armor, basically his version of face punch training. He makes some purchases and crafts some javelins. He does have some idle time that he spends basically guarding the Steelrose Mill, because you're half expecting like maybe a wizard again will show up.
You
Agony sells his goods. He does some rune trading for Dee Dee and himself, because Dee Dee's been spending a lot of time crafting for the party. He does some face punch training. He also retrains some skills because he has a circlet that gives him max ranks in perception, and he retrained his skills because he's really, really short on skills. With the rune trading, I believe he improved his. Let's see. The Dragon Tooth, which is his back to Corbin, also called a Raven's Beak, is a +2 defending keen Dragon Tooth.
Cool.
And then he also stuck an additional plus into the Executioner's Axe because it was available on the market. He retrained some skills, and then we'll spend probably some time at the end studying studying the dragon manuals. We're gonna call Agony's downtime for the winter effectively done. Dee Dee crafts a bunch of stuff. And I think I've got a short list of summary here of some of the things that she made. Dee Dee added +10 competence bonus to heal checks in her circlet of the phylactery that you guys got her from the Springtime Fae. So she's a decent healer now with just the skill. She put a +10 competence bonus in Perform for the kazoo. It is now a magical kazoo. And she also made for herself a +10 magic art kit. So she's got a +10 competence bonus to her visual art checks.
Cool.
Thanks for the gift, Wither. That's awesome. Which you gifted
Thanks,
to
thanks.
Mark. I guess that the random things pick people that are on the channel, right?
Yep, it's random people. Yeah.
Horseshoes of speed for Mystra are crafted. Her speed is now 80.
Zoom, zoom.
Dee Dee adds Quick Runner to the vests of both Sunny and Capra, because it's a cheap, pretty useful power. Agony gave up his Spellguard ring, but then put that into his new bracers. Or Dee Dee did. Dee Dee crafted an item for Amadeus, some monk's robes. She crafted Lens of Spellsight, giving Sunny a +10 competence bonus to spellcraft checks, which I thought was really neat. She upgraded Dugan's Lesser Diadem of the telekineticist or the kineticist to a normal standard diadem, so his blasts do, I think, an extra die. Amadeus's Cape of Autumn, which was previously Mr. Jitters' cape, also now helps with his saving throws. Agony switched up his headband after some switching of magic items and put his perception check into the headband again as a secondary power, which is pretty expensive. Agony also had Dee Dee craft a couple of pages of spell knowledge, including Glitter Dust and Make Whole. Make Whole so that he can serve as healer for the constructs. What else? Desaad had Mnemonic Gloves crafted. And then Dee Dee also upgraded or crafted from scratch a Capra's Fey Eyes of the Eagle, which instead of a +5 competence bonus or a +10 competence bonus to perception checks.
I see everything!
This crafting took Dee Dee something like 88 days with 12 hours per day of crafting. Basically, Dee Dee had no time to be sad because she was worked down to the bone. She also did a little bit of training at the end as she rolled really poopy on some of her on some of her levels.
Yeah.
Capra sold some goods and did some rune trading. Are there any highlights from the Bow of Doom or?
The Bow of Doom is still very bowy, very doomy. Capra had a crisis of self, and like he was looking at armor, and he tried on every suit of armor in every shop that had armor. He tried kilts, he tried leather suits, he tried.
I want to look cool too.
He tried everything, and he finally settled on. Damn it, Slake was right. Mithril breastplate is awesome, and he pumped a bunch of money into his armor. He took his +1 armor, brought up to a +3 armor, and moved some stuff around.
So the Pathfinder Kingmaker game taught me the only other way of making armor better for max dex penalty. And if you look at Celestial armor, it's better than Mithril armor. So there is technically a way to make armor more.
It'd still be the Celestial full plate, or the Celestial part of Celestial full plate.
Correct. Which, if you do the math, is actually a way to...
+3 chainmail that has a max dex of +8. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And you can fly. I don't need to fly.
Right. So there's some version of that perhaps in the future you could start to figure out how to make super light angel armor, because... Yeah.
It's good to have goals. For now, we're going to be a tanky mother and mithril full plate, or mithril breastplate.
Cool. So you did some rune trading for your armor? Is that what happened?
Yep. It was. But there was armor rune training, and then there was also some rune training on. I stole the Banes, and got some Bane arrows.
Okay, so you were taking the Banes off magic items and creating Bane arrows. That's pretty neat. Yep. Dugan Schmurf spent some time selling goods. He also spent some time relaxing. Remember the day that he relaxed, because that's the day a document was being printed with his name on it? Was when he was kicking back, like the universe's irony was they had other plans. He spied on the Imperial forces and spent a little bit of time irritating the Imperial forces. However, Dugan Schmurf while he could get away with it, the second the Imperials got whiff that there were Fey that were breaking curfew or robbing the pockets of the Imperial soldiers, the Imperial soldiers arrested a family of Fey at random
Oh,
and kept on doing that until the thievery stopped.
that's not the shittiest. They could have been shittier.
Yeah, once Dugan Schmurf got a hold of that, he kind of sheepishly stopped robbing them of basically their lunch money. The Imperial soldiers didn't carry very much into, like, he ended up with 100 bullets and 30 silver coins.
Stop being a dick. You're gonna ruin it for everyone.
Maybe a couple of badges and licenses that he shouldn't have, but the Imperials the Imperials are kind of miserable with the people of the Southwall District, and right now they're not messing around. Dugan Schmurf will have at least 3 Fey innocent of his crimes were punished by the Imperium.
As long as you punish somebody, I suppose.
We'll say there were no deaths for pockets being pilfered. We'll say that there was public lashing with cold iron whips.
Whew.
And a firm statement saying that you are residents. We will continue to. It's not even enact justice in kind. We will enact imperial justice upon residents until such behavior stops. A new law has come to the Southwall District. It's at that point, and it's also late in the winter when you doubt that the Southwall District will ever be the same. Cog spends some time training, selling goods. He crafts legs and arms. You want to describe what your leg and arm upgrades are?
Yeah. So I spend a ton of money actually getting a lot of potions, and there are some not potions, I mean formulae, and then
Yep.
the rest of it I started working on prosthetics. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with prosthetics that I'm gonna, well, when I get more money, will add. But right now, you've got a +2 item bonus to Dex called Dexterous Leg. This stacks with Cat's Grace or Dex Belt of Dex.
Nice.
So it's expensive as fuck, but worth it because I can put that to a +4, which I'll do when I get more money. The second thing I did was in my right arm, I've got the extendable prosthetic arm that I grabbed from like early on in the campaign. In my left arm, in my wrists, my hand pops down and I've got a like a piercing, and then I've got another one which is a slashing weapon, and as an action I can switch between them. It's a versatile combat arm.
Cool.
So, kind of DR do you have? Slashing? Gotcha.
Knife fighty arm.
Yeah,
Stabby arm.
and
Stabby
we rolled
and,
that
like,
because it's
pointing
part of his person. They're not weapons. They're more like his monk attacks. So basically, he can
Flurry.
at 5 feet away change his monk attacks. At 10 feet away, he's got the reach with the regular monk attack. So he's got some versatility in combat. Cool. Amadeus sold some goods, and then he disappeared for a while from the neighborhood.
Did Desaad disappear with him?
No, Desaad during this time was doing rune trading.
Gotcha.
So, I think when you guys notice that Amadeus isn't around for a couple of weeks, there is a conversation that is held by concerned parties about the Amadeus question. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and if in character, you could gather your guys maybe in the stairwell. Who might be concerned about Grumpadeus and might want to take part in a conversation of what are we going to do about him?
Cog.
Sunny and Capra.
Okay.
Cog for sure. The Sod is like, yeah,
I'm just
whatever.
gonna pull Dee Dee down just
Sure.
because.
Sure. And Dee Dee is like trying to figure out what kind of fruit Mister likes.
I assume she would like nuts and things that are like
Crunchy.
hard.
Yeah, she likes apple, like some of the same foods as a cow. She likes other things she doesn't eat, like she won't eat grass. But she'll eat. She's run around and eaten mice and like made messes and
Helping out Capra.
I bit this mouse in half. It's big
no,
old rat.
I like bit this railing in half going after a mouse. Mice might be too small. We'll say rats. She's been making a mess when she goes hunting for rats. You think Mister would actually eat a cat or a dog if left unattended? Like it's like anything that's kind of small and meaty, she might eat.
Something that anything from about half the size of her mouth to 2 or 3 times the size of her mouth. That's all fair game.
She's bright for a bird. She's retained her 3 int.
When we put the circlet on her, she's got a 5 inch.
Okay, yeah, she actually will play checkers with Dugenschmurf now. Not very well, but 5 int, yeah, you probably really like checkers.
You don't always get the rules when the kinging happens.
No, but you like
there's
that.
no king right now. King anyway.
All right, I will be back in a moment. We'll say Dee Dee is busy for a moment while you guys can chat about what to do with Amadeus.
The Sod will show up. We'll see you guys congregating. Hey, what's happening, guys?
So Amadeus is cursed, and we know he's cursed.
Yeah.
I have the ability to undo his curse.
Mm. Does he have to accept it?
Well, no, but he might be too far gone to, it all depends on what he's done, really.
What's the chance of him turning you and everybody around here into a pretzel? Because, well, I'm definitely concerned about Cog speaks. So I'm definitely concerned about the way he has behaved since we fought the vampires. I know something has affected his mind. He's not himself. He's different. He's completely different. And yes. I mean, when those folks, the ones that followed that cleric and those archers, when they attacked us and they were knocked out, he was willing to just murder them by throwing them into a pit. I understand, but still, that's going beyond. I think we should do something for him. I don't know what, and if he will accept it, great. But I doubt he will. He's not. The original Amadeus would accept it, but this one doesn't see anything wrong with himself. This would be a problem. How do you know if he's gone too far?
Give me a second. I want to check if we have a silent.
Can't hold him. Okay, hold on. I haven't. Sorry, I wasn't reading the chat. I was just chatting with myself right now. Extendorm is a classic. Extendorm. Yep. I'm gonna. Well, since leadership is not a thing anymore, I think I'm gonna grab lunge. Those are next on my big list. And I think those are.
See, the whole thing of whether Amadeus is so I am concerned that his actions have weighed upon his soul. Now, to atone, assuming that he is still capable of an atonement, requires a significant period of time to cast. So, yeah, we have foxes. The whole he eats brains. Yeah.
Of sentient things. Ooh, you're smart. Your brain must taste good. Excuse me? Chocobo. It's a big bird.
Yeah.
So, I can cast the spell, and if his actions have not forced the issue, then it should reverse the magical effect that is upon him. If his actions have tainted his soul, then it might simply alleviate the magical compulsion to be evil, but not the actions that he has taken or the damage he has done to his ego. Additionally, we would need him to sit still for an hour.
Oh.
Does he need to be awake?
No.
It's an option, but it will definitely backfire if he wakes up and he's still his new self.
Well, I know he wants to come back here because I finished his monk's robe.
Oh, did you? Ooh.
But I haven't seen him in days. I don't know what he's been doing. I thought he was with you guys.
No, I've been busy. I don't know where the fuck he is.
I lost
Trying
track.
to avoid my own favor.
Yeah.
Misty's just preening at this point.
So here's the thing. You really only get one chance without things going bad. And then if things go bad, they're bad. So either we try to talk to him and get him to do a thing, or we do the thing and hopefully he's not too mad at us. But if you try to combine the two, it's like, let's say you try to catch a dog, and the dog is a lost doggy that somebody's missing, and the doggy doesn't know you, and you kind of just sneak up behind it and sort of snare it, and then give it a tap.
Then it bites you and you get infected. You start acting weird. I know it's horrible.
No. Either you do the whole, hey doggy, and you try to go through the conversation part, or you sort of snare the doggy and throw it in the burlap sack. You don't try to go, hey doggy, why don't you get in the burlap sack? Those two things don't go good together. Like, if you need him to stay still, then making him go to sleep is probably the best way to make him stay still.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
but
agree
then
with
he's,
that.
Then he's gonna blame me for putting him to sleep. I don't want Grandpa blaming me for anything.
I think that's not the kind of sleep I meant. I meant, like, tire him out through massive amounts of exertion and punches to the head.
We're gonna need all of us to take on Amadeus.
Sonny, I would prefer. I would feel safe.
Well, Flick's
will
just
have
in the other room punching metal or something. We could go talk to him.
Normally we hold someone down or bind them, but that's just not going to work.
What if you drain him of his strength, but Well, no, never mind. Just... No, I like how you're thinking.
Slake!
No,
What?
not how we do
Busy.
it.
We need a way to make Amadeus sit still for an hour.
What'd he do?
He done got himself cursed and turned evil.
Something's wrong with him, Slake. I know he's
Again?
different. No, it's the original problem.
Oh, wow. He's actually been more useful since that happened, don't you agree?
Been more brutal.
There's a problem with
Yeah, so?
a lot of the people we're fighting seem to be missing the brains.
Oh yeah, the tongue thing.
Yeah. Well, see, like, if you punch them in the head and the brains are on the wall, that's one thing. But when you punch them in their head with your mouth and then their brains are gone, that's a different thing. You know,
Slake shrugs and goes back to, like, fiddling with his tools and getting ready for the next task. Yeah, so?
isn't eating people wrong?
Slake, it's not acceptable. He's not eating. He's eating sentient creatures.
He's
This
been
is
like
easy
that
one.
for months.
Yes, and we couldn't do anything about
I
it.
only got the spell recently.
You're gonna cast magic on him.
It was a magic.
It was magic that caused this.
I'm doing that magic.
No, he had the tongue thing before we met him.
Yes, but he didn't use it like this. He didn't use it like a straw and everything he walked by.
The cards that were thrown by the jester in Undertown, those were magic. That magically changed Amadeus's demeanor.
Yeah.
He went from being a goodly soul to a ungoodly soul.
Okay.
And it has been manifesting in stuff that will be irreparable.
He only bites people when we're fighting. It's like saying Mistra can't bite people while we're fighting because that's her eating them.
There is a bit of a difference.
All right, he's waiting for it.
Mistra can bite people, but she shouldn't swallow. She needs to spit it out. Right, Mistra?
she was basically preening, and she perks up and looks at you and scrambles up the steps towards you.
Secondly, Mistra, in her heart, is an
Okay. Agony can bite things. I've seen him bite people in combat.
And does he eat them? Have you seen him take a piece out and dine upon
Does Amadeus want to be fixed?
That's the problem. I don't think so.
it? So,
Questions like, let's say somebody put magic on you, and then the magic on you
Fuck
made
you,
want to
Capra.
have the magic on you.
He's like, ding. Put
No,
magic on
I
me.
don't.
They did.
Okay. They did. Alright. But if the magic makes you want the magic, but the magic's not good for you, but you want the magic, if we say, do you want the magic? Of course I want the magic, because the magic makes you want the magic, but then he doesn't need the magic, so we gotta get the magic away.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. If you could turn me back into a dwarf, would I take it? Nah, not yet. I got things to do. They made a fucking mistake making me this way, and I'm gonna trample all over their faces because of it.
and once
Amadeus gets something in his mouth when he's fighting. Who fucking cares?
Um,
To each his own, I guess. Now, if you tell me he's running around eating people's brains while we're not fighting people, then
We don't know where he is. He's been missing for a while.
Yeah, I went to the market the other day. You didn't think I was out there murdering people, did you?
No, I don't think you would.
It's not really a smart. It's not really a strong argument there. It's like.
Capra's like,
50-50.
Well, what are we gonna do about it? Cast a spell? Nah, I'm not holding anyone down so we can cast spells on them. Besides, I don't know if I could hold him down. I think I'd have to break his skull open to make him lie down.
Well,
You
just
really want me to do that?
Not break his skull, just thump it a little bit. Just give it a good crack.
Oh, that's what you came here for, because none of you wizard types are strong enough to hold him down so you can cast your spells on him, huh?
Well, I think we already got to the point where we don't think that we could hold it. Like, nobody can
It's
hold
like, I don't think all of us combined can hold it down.
it. Can't be just a hold down thing.
Well, let's talk to him first. Does he know that you're planning this?
He's
No.
got really keen senses, so he might suspect something.
what sense motive is like plus 20 something?
Yeah.
He probably knows people are uneasy with his nature.
Yeah, alright. I'll be there when you talk to him. Just so he doesn't hold any of you down and try to,
That's what
Bite
I'm
you.
worried about.
Okay. Okay, Agony, he kind of slinks in from the back. You can see that he was listening to the conversation, and you all have had now a conversation behind Amadeus's back.
Yep.
Everyone seems to be lingering around. What the fuck's going on here? I thought you all have some stuff to do, Dickersburg says. But he's not really a tyrannical leader, so he just lets it go and fiddles on his own stuff for a while, asking Dee Dee about her crafting backlog. Amadeus eventually does return to the watch. Get out of my way, you stupid bird. That's what he says. Ugh. He kind of just shoves Mister out of the way. Is my robe done yet? Where's Dee Dee?
Hey, Amadeus.
What the fuck's going on here? You notice he tenses when everyone's just sort of lingering around waiting.
So, you know how you got cursed in the Underdark with the cards?
Oh, this fucking thing again. Yeah?
We now have the magic to get rid of the curse. And it will let you be free to make your own decisions again.
If I say no?
Oh, it's your choice, buddy.
We've got the magic to get rid of the curse.
Hey, look, it's your choice, but basically only half of you is working now. You don't have the whole Amadeus isn't there. Only part of you. Your choice if you want to keep it that way or if you want the other thing back.
Says who? I'm perfectly fine the way I am.
That's what one half of the Amadeus would say.
Ugh.
Look, we talked about... Okay, he's going to go into...
You're going to try to cast an atonement on me, aren't you?
I'm not going to cast an atonement, but atonement will be cast.
Give me a sense motive.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a plus 14 and a plus...
22 and more than that number that was rolled.
Well, you guys know from hanging around Amadeus. Amadeus doesn't know much about spells, but he certainly knew what an atonement was.
Yep.
Like he was expecting it, like someone already told him about the spell.
29 and 20, 29.
Why do you... Who did you speak with about atonement? Would you prefer a
His face twists into this like horrible scowl as he looks at Sunny. None of your business.
What do you say? Sorry.
None of your business.
He muttered, "None of your business."
Okay, Sonny casts a freedom of movement on himself, just in case.
Okay. Whatever, I'm not afraid of your spell.
Alright. You would accept an atonement that would allow you to be free of your own moral decision making?
Bring it on.
It will take an hour. Would you like a chair?
No, it's fine. And he just goes down in lotus position and waits. Fucking stupid. Muttering under his breath.
All right then.
So he's gonna go up and he's like, "Oh, my free movement's gotta go last hour. Please don't grab me by the dick." Just.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check. Oh, sorry, ooh. Actually, I'm gonna roll perception for the party because all eyes are on. Oh, look at those 30s. Not 20 DD. You guys are all like looking at him. Sunny, Capra, Cog, DD, Agony all notice that Amadeus's shirt is red along the back. Like he's been recently bleeding.
Is he currently wounded?
Nope. But there are a bunch of like crisscrossing marks along his back that bled through his shirt.
Were you whipped by someone?
No. He's lying.
Did you get whipped by yourself?
Maybe.
Because I think I've seen some of the church people do that before.
It's personal.
Okay. Do you want a cream or something?
I'm fine. Just get this all over with. You kind of take a peek, and Dee Dee's like,
He's not bleeding. It's healed. There's a scar there, I think.
Maybe he tried to do his own kind of atonement. Maybe he's already done one. Still really comfy though.
"You don't need to whip me or anything," he says to Sunny.
No.
Okay, he says.
You drink some tea. think about things.
All right, Sunny. The version of the spell that ends up taking effect, you realize that. Well, give me a spellcraft first.
I put my glasses in. I put my contacts in. Oh, my! I got the smarts right now. I rolled a 2, 31.
Okay.
Which sucks.
All right. Well, you know that any magical alignment changes, if a creature had its alignment magically changed, atonement returns its alignment to the original status at no additional cost.
Mm-hmm.
You know that has taken effect.
Cool.
You also know that there is a point where when you cast the spell of a different alignment than yours, you are basically asking Amadeus to willingly accept your alignment.
Neutrality.
Yes. You know that Amadeus just
Doesn't want to be neutral.
waves it off. I'm not interested in that.
He doesn't care about that part.
Okay. The spell washes over Amadeus, and you know that those two things have happened. We done?
Cool. Yes. You all
Amadeus
know.
is strangely smug, but he's remaining quiet. He's not a very good bluffer.
Did you see a priest to be atoned towards evil nature?
I don't know what to tell you. I don't ask about your god. You shouldn't ask about mine. Am I still cursed?
No, just the effect of the curse. You are free to make your own decisions at this point.
Good. Is my robe done? Dee Dee's like looking at Sunny or Capra or somebody to.
You're free. You're free to make your own decisions, and it appears that you have done something to yourself. While under the effect of a compulsive magic, that is having long-lasting effects. There's an interesting conundrum here about free will.
Nope. Just not gonna take anyone's shit anymore. Are you done with my robes, Dee Dee?
Yeah. They're on the table inside.
Okay, he gets up, just sort of looks around at all you, and goes and fetches his robes. And acts like he's not going anywhere. He is aware that of your scrutiny, though.
I trust him about as far as we can throw him. Yeah, I don't know if he gets to go on the adventure because he's very.
This is all Mark's.
Oh, I know.
Telling me how he wanted things to go. So, and he actually had certain things that he went and did on his downtime.
You know, he got atoned towards evil. But the question is, if you are an evil, like if somebody compulses you to be evil, and then you do an evil act while you're evil, that.
Sonny just cast a spell. He knows that Amadeus would have had the magical atonement or the magical alignment stuff removed from him.
Yep.
Although the atonement may be cast for one of several purposes. So multiple atonements could have done this in the way in which Amadeus ended up as evil with no curse on him.
Well, yeah, no.
At the root of it, though, there was some choice. So there was at least a part of Amadeus that was tired of being goody two-shoe victim.
Well, no. It's part of Evil Deus wanted that because all the decisions were being made while he was still compulsed to be evil. So his good part of him never made this decision at any point because the way the spells act, there was no good Amadeus never got to make a decision at any point.
Somewhere in there, though, like Sonny's having a hard time trying to figure out whether there was free will in here or not.
Yeah, no, that his conundrum is about whether or not there's free will here. The discussion that the party's going to have is, do we just leave? Like, because yeah, that's a problem.
Amadeus doesn't do anything suspicious. He spends the rest of the winter basically training and hardening his fists and hanging around. He is keenly aware of all of you trying to keep your distance and is probably, with his poor bluff, with those that have good sense motives. I don't know who that is in the party.
Plus 15, 14 from my guys.
He's just hoping that time makes this
time
issue.
Wounds all heals.
Yeah, exactly. But he lingers around. He's interested in getting his share. He's interested in participating. He eyes the Imperials just as suspiciously as the rest of you from your perches in the in the Steelrose mill.
So when he came in, he had recently bled, but he's not bleeding currently, right?
Right.
Give me a second. Because in this scene, I want to see if Capra can backtrack. I think everything I do will bring me back to where, like, will bring me to Amadeus, but I want to go to where Amadeus was, not where he is. Give me a second. I need to check my spells.
Okay.
I've got. So that will help. And then, excuse me, sorry. This one. I don't think I took the tracking one for that one. Yeah, it's unlikely unless he came immediately from that location. It'll be like impossible to figure out where he went.
He definitely spent somewhere, like he's been somewhere for about 10 days.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's like.
And if you're watching Amadeus, Amadeus does head out into town occasionally.
Does Amadeus have a holy symbol?
You know that Amadeus for a time carried a holy symbol of the five-faced god.
Mm-hmm. What does he carry now?
You don't see it around his neck.
Hmm.
Like it wasn't always out, but you did see that he had a necklace, and you do not see that necklace.
Okay. This sucks. Okay. I think it's pretty safe to say Amadeus is under harsh scrutiny.
Yep, and he picks up on it with his plus 21 sense motive, and he just keeps to himself, and he trains like everyone else is doing, and it mostly is just angry face punch training.
Kev will. You guys want me to follow him, see where he goes?
I'm interested in knowing which god he had turned to. I do not believe he is currently a worshipper of the five-faced god. I believe he's a worshipper of some sort of beast master or something. Not certain what. But that would be my guess. Could be the five-faced god still. I doubt it. He would still wear the accoutrement. Might want to check at the there's risks associated with many different things. Would be good to know what he worships.
Okay, Agony doesn't seem to be as concerned about this moral conundrum. He goes back to what he was doing. Slake is busy at the forge. Like, the two of them, for different reasons and different sets of morality, may not really care that Amadeus is this way. Dee Dee is deeply concerned. In fact, she's almost on the fence of, like, let's get rid of Amadeus if we can't fix him.
There's a... when you turn cannibal, when you turn horrible monster cannibal, there's a thing there. There's a level of,
and
like...
mistress of whatever opinion Sunny is.
Yes. Mr. thinks eating brains is okay.
Brains are tasty.
It's like a nut. It's harder on the outside and then chewy on the inside.
Nice and salty.
Yeah, there's I must admit, in a purely meta sense, that there is definitely like the level of risk associated with this is increased because of the people who are making the decisions to get to the point in time, which increases the like the level of risk associated to the party, to the players, or like the characters of these decisions. Because later it's going to be told, well, you know, he was an evil brain-sucking monster for months. I mean, why would you? It's your fault, really. I'm eating your brains, but it's really your fault I'm eating your brains. Why did you let him come along? We'll see the discussion. So,
Okay. Are there any specific actions taken now?
The specific actions taken now are to figure out where the he came, like where he was, who atoned him.
Okay, are you going out and asking questions? Are you trying to follow him, or what? What's the?
Desaad can follow.
Okay, give me a.
But well, you know what? Get Dugan to do it. He's invisible.
Dugan is busy with other things.
All right, I'll do it. God damn it.
Dugan seems to be distracted by perhaps Fey concerns, and he's got.
It's pretty distinct, so people would know about him. Like,
are you going out to ask, like, have you seen this guy? Have you seen this puppy, kind of thing, or are you going to follow him on the rare occasions when he actually does leave the Steelrose Mill? He doesn't announce when he's leaving. He tends to leave at the dark, or when he thinks no one's looking.
Well, Desaad can fly and can go invisible, so.
Okay, so are you going to... I need a bluff check versus his sense motive to see if he knows that Desaad's hanging around to follow him.
The bluff.
$24.
Oh, just my base beats you.
Okay, I need a roll though, because
But a roll.
There are modifiers at play.
38.
So you beat him by 14. Okay, it is. It is late one evening. It is late winter. We're going to say that this is probably 10 days away from the funerals, which are happening in the first week of spring. Like you kind of played this cat and mouse game. He left when you weren't watching, or when the party wasn't watching, but you end up following him and tick off an invisibility. But you are trailing him. What's your speed?
I'm flying.
So 60. Yep. Amadeus makes his way into the foreign district. The foreign district has checkpoints, and he actually flashes a piece of identification that allows him through the checkpoint.
Okay, I want to get an angle trying to see what that...
It was a wallet. There was something in his wallet that the guards understood to let him through.
Okay.
You could look at it later, try to get a hold of it later. You were flying at a distance. There's a bit of a late winter, like almost like a windy flurry going on. Amadeus, you realize that a lot of buildings in the foreign market, as many families have been forcefully removed from their homes, that this has perhaps provided an opportunity for people to squat or like buy or rent apartments. And you do see Amadeus goes to an apartment building that looks like it's been completely abandoned, but he slips in through the back door.
Okay. What race of creatures are in the area?
There are still hobgoblins that live in the foreign district. All sorts of people live here, but this particular building is empty.
Yeah, we'll come back here when he's not here.
Okay.
We're at Assad. It's like a
He's here for
ditch about this big.
about 3 hours before he leaves.
Okay, I beat him home.
When he leaves, he seems to have a little bit of a splatter of blood that looks like he's been trying to like clean off of his shirt. He's Amadeus looks fine. Bit sweaty, maybe.
All right. That's an
What is your
indication.
stealth? As you basically were trying to hide from him.
Can I ask a question or no?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Or don't. Oh, oops, I'm back up here. My stealth is 24 plus.
Okay, I'll give you a +6 because of distance. You kind of.
Okay, so
Otis gets a 28, so you need to beat 28.
44.
Okay, Amadeus does not notice you. He does not. He does look around, kind of left and right. He doesn't look up on the building, kind of like next to the one, and doesn't notice you hiding up there. He, in a roundabout way, makes his way back to the Steelrose mill. He seems to be like trying to like throw someone as if he was being followed, and eventually runs into the Steelrose mill.
Okay. When I notice he's heading back, I'll beat him there.
You'll.
Well, do we live in the same? Do we sleep in the same area? No, right? Everyone sleeps in their own spot.
Yeah, but he kind of slept down in the where those lockers were, so he would notice people coming and going. You gonna fly to beat him back?
Yeah, sure.
Or are you gonna go into where he went?
Let's see if anybody else leaves. You know what? Let's hang around. Let's see if anybody else leaves the area.
Okay. If you spend any more than 5 or 10 minutes here, he will beat you back to the Steelrose mill.
Okay. During the time that he was here, was anybody else entering?
Nope.
Okay. We just head back then.
Okay. You beat him back. Give me a bluff check, as you're pretending now to not have been involved in... Amadeus is distracted.
43.
I'm gonna...
Couldn't I fucking roll this while I was trying to get Jitters?
27. Okay, Amadeus does not know that Desaad, the uber magic casting doppelganger rogue, was spying on him. That is so creepy.
See, just to be fair to the universe here, if Desaad, like we had a similar conversation about Desaad when Desaad is like, I eat people's souls and turn into their skin form. Like that was the thing, and he never turned it up to like, no, I eat their brains. There's always like, no.
Blood, hair, feces, I don't care, whatever. Whatever's left over.
Okay. As we go through what Desaad did in downtime, there was some rune trading. What items did you upgrade with your runes?
Right. Let me just grab a quick looky here. Desaad has got... the double-barreled pistols are now +2.
You put runes on guns. That's
on
funny.
a double-barrel pistol +2. Hell yeah.
Did you have the leftover cash to take the put elements on them? because an extra 2d6 is like
I don't think there were anymore.
at a 2,000 gold pieces. We've got a bunch that can be transferred.
Does the party have a slush fund?
The party has 4 grand left, 4,900 left in the slush fund.
Well, if they're not going to be used,
How much to transfer those +1 runes? What, 500?
I think it's something like that.
the transfer is was it a quarter?
There's a nice chart.
Yeah, reference.
Runes.
500.
Yeah. So, 500 per rune. You can put you can put 2 runes on each of those guns to add 2d6 extra damage against most chuckleheads with your.
No, they're +2. It's a double pistol. It's one pistol that shoots 2 rounds.
I believe you can shoot them 1 barrel at a time.
Yes. But I can. That's what I've been doing.
As you made them +2, you can put 2 elements on each pistol.
Oh, like fire, cold, and lightning, and
Exactly. So the cost of this would be 1,000 gold pieces per pistol, and it just
Wait,
chews up a
how
bunch
many
of cards.
runes are sitting in your party backlog?
I think we're just gonna clear up a bunch.
wait, we have a whole bunch of runes already sitting, so it's just the cost of putting them on.
Yeah.
We've got weapons with runes that you just have to go and
There are 2 fiery that are available.
Oh, we just have 2 fiery, so you
Yeah.
can put fiery on each of them for 1,000.
Okay.
I'll erase those from the backlog, which is pretty good for 1,000 gold.
So
I will
And then we have,
subtract
like,
1,000 gold from the party slush fund.
Yep.
Because I'm on
And
the
then
same
you-
sheet, and add fiery to your double pistols. Yeah, I think you need to magic each barrel, right? Or no? No, actually, no, you don't. No, okay. You've got 2 double pistols. Is that correct?
one double pistol. I have 2 +1 pistols, and 2 masterwork pistols.
Okay, well then the double pistol you only need to put 1 rune on.
Right. You could put the runes on the 2 single pistols. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're the Matrix over here.
Yeah.
No, just one rune then.
Okay, 500. I'll give you 500 back.
Okay.
Cool. So you upgrade some of your guns. It sounds like. And then you did a bunch of face punch training.
Face punch training. Oh,
All
we're
right.
not done yet. There was the sword of Tivilus is now +3 wounding green steel bastard sword. Went from a +2 +3.
Nice. A
So-
+2 sword. Does it have any other properties?
There's wounding increases the bleed damage with each hit.
Oh,
so
wounding. Okay, so it
+3 wounding.
it's +3 wounding. I believe is only a +2 quality, so you could
Right,
actually
so you
put
can throw
fire
keen
in
on
the
there.
other. No,
It's
keen
green
won't
steel.
stack with green steel.
Oh, yeah.
fiery.
You could put fiery into the sword of Tivilus, the hellish
Fire.
sword. Okay, there's your other 500 gold pieces.
Fiery sword of Tivilus. On D10 +1.
There we go. Now we're starting to cook with gasoline.
There's the good stuff.
Yeah.
He put on the Vest of Elvenkind, which this is the set from the Diplomat.
Yep.
So he put on the Vest of Elvenkind, which makes him awesome with elves. He put on the Phylactery of Gnomekinder. It's a headband, which makes him awesome with gnomes. And this has given him Dex bonus, con bonus
The diplomat's items you're putting on the shapeshifter
on the
in the party.
shapeshifter. Yes, the charisma.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good pick. Initially, Cog was a good pick. I'm like, yeah, Monk with all these items is really neat, but Desaad as the owner of the growing
Everybody
regalia.
loves
Now the 2 items don't stack yet, right? They don't
Correct,
do anything
they do
with
not
2 items.
stack yet.
Okay, because I know that they would.
Eventually, they do.
He bought something else. Where are you? Where are those gloves? Right, the blue silk gloves with silver threaded geometric patterns. 2 times per day, I can use the mnemonic
Yep.
investment.
Mhm.
Yeah. and I bought a whole bunch of scrolls. Some arcane, and some not. But basically, 2 of those I'll be able to cast for free.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Let's catch
Just-
Sunny up with the rest of the party. I think it's the last one we didn't do the what you do during downtime. So you did the investigation into the soul burns. You sold some goods. You reincarnated Mistra. You crafted a ring. So your arcane bond ring got a bunch of powers.
So my arcane bond ring is now counterspelling, sustenance, featherfall, and evasion.
Nice.
Now, the evasion part is still funny because Sunny has a shit reflex save, so he's still going to blow up a lot.
Right.
But when he doesn't blow up, he really doesn't blow up.
Right.
Tiny bat will survive tiny fireballs.
And then you sold some spell books that you no longer need. So it sounds like there was some scribing of spells going on.
I scribed a good 8 spells. I organized my scroll library, and then I did a little bit of a little bit of training, I think, for hit points.
Okay. Slake ended up sheepishly asking a few people to help him. And given that there was some good conversations with Sunny and Cog, unfortunately Cog was busy in the middle of doing reinforcements, but Slake wants to know more about dwarf clans. And when Sunny found out that Slake was going to gather some information, I think Sunny was going to help out with this. Now, Slake's motivation for finding out about dwarf clans is mostly he wants to find out where his clan is and from, and he also wants to, his clan being the Anvilbrow, and he wants to find out who and where are the Brickhammers, because he wants to murder the Brickhammers.
Once we get Slake to the end of his revenge quest, we could then use magic to make him back into a dwarf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sunny, do you have diplomacy, or are you all just natural old man charm?
Sunny actually has diplomacy and old man charm.
Okay.
he gets a bonus to attitude changing from his favorite class bonus is diplomacy and intimidate checks.
Okay. Give me a basically 3 gather info checks for the 3 weeks that you help Slake with this.
19, 26, 33.
Okay.
Took a while to get going.
And then Slake is automatically trying to aid you. Now, Slake has a charisma of 8, and because he's becoming more robot with a prestige class, I believe he gets a penalty to all charisma-based skills aside from intimidate. Give me a second. Let me find the... Yeah, with Juggernaut, he has something called Reserved. Take penalty on bluff, diplomacy, and sense motive checks equal to class level. And he's a 1-level Juggernaut. It's only a 5-level prestige class, but it's...
-5.
Oh, no, 2. He's at -2. So he's at a -3 total on his diplomacy checks.
Tell him what you know!
There are fortune points for immediate use. Have 2. Cool. So we'll add those to the Sunny rolls.
I'm thinking 1 to the first roll and 1 to the last roll, because 35 is a good number and 21 is a good number.
And then Slake hinders, and actually helps on the last one, which is
all right.
Amazing.
So 19, 24, and 37.
All right, there are a lot of dwarves in the city. You end up kind of canvassing dwarves. You don't think the dwarves in the city are actually... You think that they're more here for work and less here because they like had clans that lived in Foundry. You don't think Foundry is the place where Slake should be looking.
You need to go to a more dwarfy place.
Yep. Now, that was the first week. The second week, you begin to you begin to kind of start to understand dwarven society, and Sunny, almost like first principles, starts to ask really basic questions about dwarves because he doesn't know about this world. Like he was sprung from the earth and an old man and didn't have certain knowledges. Sunny begins to piece together sort of like the high-level story of dwarves on this world. Let me find my notes. Many of the dwarves that are here were basically imported from Imperial worlds. There is a special status that some dwarves have because they're Durakians. Meaning they're from a world called Durak. And the Durakian descended dwarves are often afforded many rights that normal residents don't have. So a lot of the dwarves have special status. Some of them don't, but the ones that are Durakian descended have, for some reason, ingratiated themselves to the Imperium, and their ancestors helped the Imperium to the point where if you can prove that you're a Durakian descended dwarf, that you have the ability to hold land and almost act like feudal lords as long as they pay fealty to the Imperium. It's like this it's almost like a throwback to, or at least historically, a throwback to kind of older ways of running government. You find out that some have turned their Durakian status into things like holding firearm licenses for personal use, or the ability to worship gods that are not the five-faced god and some of the other official deities. As long as they don't proselytize, then they're allowed to hold on to their old beliefs. Now, during the Settler Wars, and in the period kind of before that, some of the Durakian dwarves actually were some of the first settlers that came through the gate, even before the Imperium decided that they were going to settle Volcanica. And you know that from anywhere from about 1,000 years ago to about 300 years ago, there are Durakian dwarves that came to Volcanica and prospected, built castles, built settlements, and tried to pacify the land in a dwarven fashion. Some of those settlements were lost in wars against the goblin and the kobold. Some of them are still out there. Some of them became the foundations of places like Foundry. But a lot of the industrious nature is due to the dwarven influence. There are some very rich dwarves that have tied themselves to various guilds and industries on Volcanica. And even to this day, Durakians have a pride with them. Like, they carry a pride with them in that they are special status dwarves. While the Imperium suffers no kings, some of these dwarves have achieved wealth beyond which a small clan kingdom would ever provided, by playing to the Imperium, using their title, and becoming like big business movers and shakers.
Yeah, they're powerful dwarvish mercenaries of special status.
You find out with the 33 is that Anvilbrow sounds like they may be related to one of these old powerful clans called simply Clan Anvil, like it was an offshoot.
Yep.
Clan Brickhammer is almost like a curse word. You get the sense that these people are not liked, and they're like almost on par with something called Durgar.
Okay, so they're the scummy. Yeah.
And then you find out that that there was a known conflict somewhere in a place called Elisir Vale, or the Elsir Vale. Let me see if I'm pronouncing that correctly. which is a big territory. Elseer Vale. And that the politics of dwarves still run deep, and not all the clans got along. And Elseer Vale was one of the places that the Durakian descended dwarves helped found.
So we should.
The dwarves went there and showed their ancestral enemy, the elves, what for a long time ago.
Elseer Vale is on Volcanica.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Elseer Vale, you find out, is like a few hundred miles north of where you guys are. There's a train that goes through Elseer Vale.
do you like trains?
Yeah, as long as they're not fucking magical.
All right.
So you're saying there's a bunch of dwarves in this Elseer place?
Well, there were a bunch of dwarves. There may still be a bunch of dwarves. They would know more about your foe and your people.
Slake is rubbing his head. You know, that name doesn't sound unfamiliar.
Elseer Vale?
Yeah. It's the first time you and I have talked about it, but it doesn't sound like odd.
The brow in your name.
Yeah?
If we called you Anvil, or of Clan Anvil, would that feel natural as well?
It doesn't sound odd, but I've said Anvil Brow like 1,000 times in my head. But yeah, it doesn't feel odd. Are you casting magic on me, old man?
No.
Alright, just checking.
I'm just wondering how your memories are interesting and are mysterious.
Yeah, mysterious, huh? Like you and the chicken here. Gonna wrestle Mr.
Mistra, yes. Mistra is mysterious.
Pings his armor a little bit. She's looking at him. Yeah, there's nothing inside here. Nothing inside.
It's a good job, Mistra.
Mistra is large with a 26 strength. Slake is medium with a 30 strength. So.
Yeah, well, what happens when I cast animal growth?
Yeah, it's a big bird.
Bull strength and animal growth, freaking 38 strength chicken.
And Slake drinks his mutagen and rages, 38 strength Slake, so they're both the same.
My money's on Slake. Smart money's on Slake. Unless the 80-foot move speed with spring attack and the move away would make Slake continuously either have to ready an attack.
Slake's movement right now is 35. It's just under the halfway.
Exactly.
He'd have to take out his long hammer to make that fight fair.
Yep.
All right. Interesting.
Yes. We should be able to find dwarves who would know more.
Elseer Vale.
Yes.
Thanks, Sonny.
You're welcome.
Don't tell the others I thanked you, though.
Never would. Wouldn't want to besmirch your good name and what making someone who cast spells, you know.
You know, I named myself.
Slake?
Yeah.
What were you called before?
Well, no, when I woke up in the box with Cog, I knew I had to slake my desire for vengeance with blood. I just sort of stuck.
You don't remember your name.
No. The fuck do you think we're out here talking to dwarves for? I don't remember much.
Does he still has fleshy bits, right?
Well, he's wearing full plate. Somewhere underneath there are still bits of flesh.
I can look at your blood.
Yeah.
It might tell me your name.
Well, I don't really bleed anymore.
If we dig around, we can find something.
Mister's now pecking at his back. He's kind of got you in an arm lock. He does not like the way he's kind of manhandling Sunny. Yeah, but you're gonna use magic. You know, if maybe some dwarves up north know who I am. Plus, there's a wizard we need to go kick the crap out of up north. And I could convince the rest of the guys to come up north with us. We'll do it next time. Fucking magic. No.
Of course. You will not willingly give up your blood for this, to solve this riddle. But if I were to happen across your blood and you had no knowledge of it, I might...
I'll have to try to stop you.
Unfortunately, you wouldn't know that it happened. Sonny's going to be waiting for the next time Slate gets his ass kicked to get a sample.
Right. All right. So we should probably head back. I think Dugan wanted to meet with us.
Yes. Going north.
Okay. In fact, Dugan's gathering everyone together in the stairwell. Amadeus is there. You can see he was idly chatting with Agony, who has not been acting suspicious around Amadeus, because Agony is following the path of greed and soon domination and destruction of chaotic evil creatures. Agony has also shifted his alignment. I don't know if we went through this before, but Agony's alignment is now neutral. He was lawful neutral. He will never go up in another level of monk again.
There we go.
This is representing his sort of like loosening of his strange, his different morals, and he's kind of like hands off, like with trying to force Amadeus to do things. Of course, you know, eating brains is probably is probably an issue. Dugan Schmurf seems to be pacing as if he's waiting for something.
Do you need to pee?
I don't need to pee. I'm just waiting for Nighthorn to get here. He's got an update from that book that we gave him.
Oh,
It's a pretty good update. Good thing I was there to remind him like 5 times.
you make him come all the way over here?
That's right. He was us, remember?
Big fucking dookie grin from Dugan Schmurf.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully nothing bad happens to him on the way here.
Right. I wonder if he's going to bring his payment.
Is it the end of this winter yet? I thought we were charged until spring season anyway.
Okay, Dewaki comes flying into your area. He lands down.
Introducing Mulberry Nighthorn, Seneschal of the keep at Greenrest. Sylvan Acres.
Hey, Duaki, how are you?
Okay, I guess.
Hmm.
I miss
What's wrong?
Delphin.
Yeah, me too.
You coming to his funeral in the spring? It's only 8 days away.
Yes, I'll do my best to be there. I didn't know. Thank you for telling me.
You too, Agony. And all of you too. There's gonna be lots of funerals and crying and stuff, but then there's gonna be a big feast.
You'll have to excuse me if I can't cry. But I'll be there. Sadness is real.
I'm sorry about Taylor.
We all have losses.
Indeed, we all do,
Yeah.
says Mulberry. Would you like to know why we have suffered so many losses? He's got a book with him, and he slinked into the place.
Welcome. Yes, please. He steps back, let Dugan do his thing.
Right. I do have news about this ledger. He places it down. I have learned much about our enemy. Well, where to begin? Langdrodsa. His full name, referred to many times, the draconic symbol that can be. He's got like a code now, like a cipher. Like you can actually change letters around to read the book if you wanted to codify it. Referred to as LC in this ledger. Once it was decoded, Langdrodsa Cyanrath is the name of the blue dragonborn. Langdrodsa and his allies, mostly kobolds, have been gathering treasures and shipping them north. This has been going on for years, although their efforts have become more aggressive and frequent as of late. R is some leader of the operation who lets its sub-leaders, presumably Langdrodsa and his cronies, take their share before the bulk is shipped off. While everything in this book was not appraised, it is estimated that they have moved over 200,000 gold pieces worth of money and wealth, not counting many, many magic items. For this, for lack of better words, treasure route. The route is from Foundry, north via the Iron Main Railroad Company to the city of Denovar. Shipments are offloaded and transported inland, I believe westward, to some remote castle. This remote castle spot is referred to only as the castle, although there was one slip when they referred it to as the castle in the swamp. A rough translation from Draconic. Spots along the roof include BR and DF. Other tidbits. There is a symbol that their agents carry and know, and is perhaps used to identify each other. This symbol is the Draconic symbol of greed.
Capper like elbows agony.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, Agony's all ears. Like at the beginning of this, he knew this came from the kobolds and everything. He's very attentive. LC has claimed some powerful magic items along the way. He knows about the regalia of the diplomat and claimed the vest for himself. And you notice that he looks around and that looks like Kev who's wearing the vest.
Ooh.
He seems to also be really interested in two types of items. There are standing orders from his cronies that orbs and masks be brought to him before being packed up. Any objects of those type and description are set aside for him to examine.
No hint on what he's looking for in those items.
This is more of a business ledger to keep track of, well, their ill-gotten and perhaps even legally gotten goods. My spies have told me that no other shipments have left that lair that you saved me from, and that our slaying of that priestess woman, your slaying of the priestess woman, may have broken this particular route. Although, with this much money being funneled into one place, one also wonders if they have other designs. 200,000 gold pieces is a serious amount of money. It could fuel wizard research, or be a great tithe, or offering.
Wonder how many roots they have going there.
It could raise armies and change many things. Build a powerful magical item. Imagination runs wild with this. That's not to count the many magic items that they did not properly identify through haste. I would be very careful around kobolds. They seem to be behind a lot of this.
Was there any mention of terms like awakening, unrest, these sorts of things? Any reference to a astrological event?
No. Unless one of the many poorly described items had something to do with it. He thinks for a moment.
Agony, how are you sleeping these days?
Fine. Why?
If you have trouble sleeping, I would like to know.
Okay, Agony nods. He's now eyeing Sunny suspiciously.
Oh God, all the bruisers are gonna do things to me when I'm trying to sleep. So vulnerable, so squishy.
Yeah. With 9th level and some of the treasure moving around, Agony is now wearing a +4 charisma item, and he's got Circlet of Persuasion in there, so he actually has a +14 bluff. Like, he eyes you suspiciously and then goes about listening to the conversation, but he's now curious as to what Sunny knows.
One of the things that I've found, when you build a druid primary, and you don't make them like a battle druid, they are really squishy, and they have none of the survivability stuff that wizards do. Like,
No, they don't. You need a good animal companion and a way to escape.
So there's a
Fly the fuck away.
there's a treasure hunt.
If you decided to use this knowledge to go after vast amounts of wealth, Agony steps forward and takes the cipher and the notes from. Thank you.
Does anybody have a map? He was kind of just like, Sonny, like, I've never seen a map of this world.
Yeah, right. I could find a map, probably. Don't worry about it too much. I'll find one.
Sonny, who doesn't have ranks in bluff, has an ulterior motive for the map.
Yep. Wait, you said going north?
And then Sonny's like, yeah, we should go north.
Yeah, count me in.
Yeah, me too. Wait, what? Why do you want to go north?
This amount of money is likely being used for magics.
You might have family north.
Slake's family?
Yeah, there's dwarves that live in some vale up north.
Cog's like, Slake knows something. I'm with you.
Interesting.
Okay. I've never been up north, I don't think. Oh.
So we're going north?
Yeah.
Alright, sure, whatever.
The springtime. Let's wait till after the funerals.
Nothing
okay?
left here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of stuffy here with all the soldiers always on the streets. I knew that Dugan and I could just fly over them, but, you
Change
guys...
of scenery would be good, yes.
There's money up north, says Amadeus. Yeah, I'll go.
Fuck yeah. Tangle up some shit.
Yes, well, I hope this helps complete any of the mystery.
It's certainly good work.
If you find these riches up north, I hope that you will spend some of them in the Sylvan Acres.
Oh yeah.
There are also a few Fey that may want their things back, but we can discuss such problems at a future time.
Make a list.
What all you want?
Yeah.
We're going to be power leveling, and eventually that +2 whatever doesn't. We don't need that anymore. We can just give it back to them at half cost, which is the same price.
So these assholes and that dragon might be at the end of this goose chase, is what you're saying?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah, we never really got a chance to fight that dragon, did we? No. So second he.
Well,
We could have taken it.
Hey, Sonny, you know that spell it cast on me and Capra made us lose most of our potions? If our potions were in a bag of holding, would it still take effect? Cost me a lot of pretty penny, that fucking thing.
I will have a. Can I do a spellcraft to think about that power?
I think we talked about it before. That
it
power was
was
I believe, a supernatural
supernatural.
ability that older blue dragons have to just basically create desert thirst.
So I don't. I believe you could protect them through the extra-dimensional space. But you also might be able to get away with if you crafted your potions into powders, which you sniffed, as opposed to oils or liquids.
Let's start doing that from now on.
It might take effort or time. It's very rare. It's not really a spell.
I'll blend it with some crushed glass. It'll be a quicker effect.
hey, we'll give you a crushed glass. Make my nose bleed.
Get used to it.
What awful sniff.
That's not how it works.
If there isn't anything else, Doak and I will return to the Sylvan Acres. I shall see all of you at the funeral.
Bye
Thank
bye.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. So we're gonna go north, and we're gonna chase down the big dragon. We're going. Oh, he gets dragon. Oh, let me check the pile. Oh, let me check the pile. The pile.
Okay, Casper's going over the pile.
We need dragon bane stuff, which might be hard to find because there's not that many dragons around. But we need.
No, we don't. Sagni.
No, not for you. For the other dragons. The blue one. We need a dragon bane giant spear to put through.
No, we don't.
Punch it through.
I'll start finding Feybane things to put on my weapons.
I've already got Fey bane stuff. Look at this in the stack of things. Fey use Fey bane all the time.
Oh, Capra.
How? What's the best thing when you're hunting Fey?
It's just a tool, says Amadeus. Capper finds himself on the same side of the argument as Amadeus.
I can't disagree with them. As long as it's not a giant straw.
Ominous gives you a look. the giant straw meme that is in your little group now is.
Every foe is like a sunny delight.
What flavor are you?
It's just he's so dangerous, and it's like, of course I want to come. There's money. It's like, do we really want to walk? They've got hundreds of thousands of gold pieces going to this place, and all I have to do is I'll give you 100,000 gold pieces to kill them. All right.
Okay. There is a tiny bit of idle time before you guys attend the week of funerals.
I would like to